This is supposed to be the most powerful circular saw on the market today. And this new circular saw is really surprising how powerful it is for the size of it. What's up, everybody? My name is Clint. Welcome to the Tool Review Zone channel. This is the new Milwaukee a 7¼ saw, and this is the new M12 5" saw. And this is a whole lot of woodage. I'll get your mind out of the gutter. I clearly meant this type of woodage. This is a treated 2x6 with no pilot holes. Let me make sure. Yep, no pilot holes. And of course, we got some subflooring right here. And today we're gonna use and abuse, we're gonna slice and dice using the M12 and the new M18. But before we begin, I do wanna show you this. These are the new Forge bat rays. This is the new 8.0. This is the new 12.0. They're tablets. I've been testing these. Look for the full video very soon because we're gonna have some results on how fast they charge and the power and the runtime compared to regular, high outputs. All right, so first up, we got the M12. Now, what I'm running on this is the 5.0. This is the high output. That's an M12. You don't want to run like a standard M12 on this. You got to do the high output because they have the larger cells and they're going to give this thing way more power. You would say to yourself, this saw is for a baby, not a Mayan. I'm a Mayan. This is like a framer saw. That's what they're targeting with this saw, framers. And once again, this is a 2x6 piece of woodage. Now it's treated. I mentioned there's no pilot holes in there. Now we also have a standard 2x4 right here. So we're gonna slice and dice and use and abuse with these here, and then we'll go down through the subflooring and I'll see what that can do. But first, let's go over the functionality of this saw and the specs, and then we'll slice and dice, and then we'll move it over to the big boy. So as mentioned, this saw is crazy small, crazy light, very compact. Oh, and by the way, I'll try to leave both of these saws in the shopping bag attached to this video, but if not, I'll leave a link in the description below for you to find these. Now, of course, this is going to give you all the functions as a large circular saw will give you. You're going to have your bevels, your depth adjustments, everything. Now, one thing I definitely want to point out is if you have trouble seeing, you got eye vision problems, well, this saw might be a little rough for you to actually make out the numbering. You can see the smaller the saw, the smaller the numbering. You do have all the etchings down here, but I'm just pointing that out. Now you do have a blade light right, let me put that down, right there on the inside. Pretty bright, so LED, if you need to cut this in a dimmer area, darker area, you're gonna be able to see your cuts. It comes with the dust attachment. It comes with the built-in tool storage. Do have your blade lock button right there. Does not come with an edge guide, but it will accept one. Does not come with positive stops. A lot of people don't care about that, so you might be okay with that. Depth adjustment, yeah, very simple to make. Pretty darn smooth indeed. And you got the little baby rafter hook. It's real nice like. And of course you got that paddle switch for the safety. Again, I'm not a big fan of these, but whatever. It's not that hard to use. Push down, pull the trigger. You also have an LED light indicator up here telling you how much more power you have left on your bat ray. And of course mine is fully charged, so we are red to go. So funny. All right, so let's start it out with our 2x4 first. Now I'm right-handed, but for camera angle purposes, I'm gonna have to do it left-handed. And also this is blade left. A lot of people like blade left. I like blade left. Other people don't, but I'm just throwing that out there. So 3, 2, 1. Now you can see this does a really good job putting that dust there. So if you have the vacuum hook up, yeah, you shouldn't have any issues collecting that. All right, so let's do a treated 2x6, no pilot holes. Now again, this thing, for how small it is very powerful, but I do want to point something out after I'm done doing this. So let's make a couple slices and dices. You can hear that bogging down just a little bit. Now I want to show you something here. If I just twist my wrist a little bit, this thing is not going to have the power to keep on going, so watch. Maybe it does, I don't know. Off camera, when I had twisted my wrist just a little bit, it binded up, and now I'm looking like a fool. It made it through this multiple times. Now, is this saw meant for this? Nah, it's definitely not meant for this. You can hear it bogging down. It just doesn't have the oomph that you need for something like this all day long. So if you're cutting joists and stuff, like floor joists, stuff, I mean, yeah, maybe one off. It's just next to you, want to grab it, but it's, you know. However, it is made for this. Use this footage all day long. I'm curious though, should I set my camera angle up a little differently? Can it cut through the subflooring the whole way through? Let's just find out. So you asked if it can do it, and it did it. But did it do it good? Definitely think this thing has power. But when it comes to cutting the 2x4s, that's where it shines. You want framing, and that's basically it. If you're cutting large rips and all that stuff, then I don't think this saw is for you. But if you're just trying to frame, well, I think it might work real nicely for you. You could carry this out with you, put it on a lanyard, walk up and down the ladder. You don't have to worry about it. However, this mofo is a completely different story. So this is the new 7 1/4 Fuel brushless. This is supposed to be the most powerful saw on the market. Been testing it for a couple days. I don't know if that's really the case, but man, is it powerful. So what we're going to be using with this today is the 8.0. It's the new Forge Bat-Ray. The tablets just came out. Now, this is not something you want to carry around on your hip. Again, this saw here for very small jobs, yeah, this is cool. Again, not tons of power, but for what it is, pretty impressive. But if you're ripping, you're slicing and dicing, this is what you want to use. And it's a big improvement over a lot of the other saws that Milwaukee IA has come out with. And one of the main differences between this circular saw and a lot of the other circular saws that they came out with is I like this one. There's no secret. I wasn't a big fan of the rear handle saw. I thought it gunked up a lot. I loved the 12-inch miter saw, but the 10-inch that wasn't real nice like. If you don't know what that means that's the opposite of real nice like, which means not so good. But they redid this, and the power on this thing is insane, and the dust collection is actually, that's real nice like. That's the opposite of not real nice like, which is good. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. Just like this saw here, you can put your fence in here. The markings are definitely larger. Over here, you got your etching here. You do have some nice aggressive positive stops on this. On all of your most popular cuts, you can hear that thing clicking in. So really good job on that. You also got the positive stops on your depth adjustment. Yeah. Got the tool storage in the back. A sweet rafter hook right up on top. It's hard to get that angle, but you got the LED light right here. Yeah, I think somewhere right there. Now, they actually did something with this saw that I've never felt before in any other saw. Usually when you pull a trigger on a saw, it kind of jumps on you a little bit. Well, you're sort of like that, so you got to fight that saw back down. But this one here, it actually balances itself out. It's hard to explain it unless you actually try it. I'll try to pick it up on camera here. But watch what happens. I'm going to pull this trigger, and then it'll like balance itself out. Watch. See how it kicks up? Watch. Down, back up. Down, back up. I'm not doing that with my wrist. Watch, I'll go down, back up. Down, back up. It balances itself out, which is wild. I never felt that before. So definitely a lot more control on this saw than I've ever felt on any other IA saw. Now, this saw is also blade right. I don't like blade right. I like to be able to see my blade. However, the viewing window on this bad boy is huge. So it doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, you can see that blade slicing and dicing very well, no matter which way you look at it because of that viewing window. And the other thing about this saw, it looks like a rear handle, almost, right? I mean, usually the rear handles, the bat rays sit on top and everything, but the way this is designed, it almost resembles a rear handle saw. So it gives you more control when you're cutting. It's gonna give you a little bit more weight. It's gonna keep that blade down. You're not gonna be moving all over the place. You're not gonna be fishtailing, if you know what I'm saying. The other thing I like is they got rid of that paddle. So all you do is unlock it, lock it, and you're good to go. You don't have to worry about pushing anything down safety-wise and all that good stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love safety, but sometimes they take it overboard. All right, so first up, let's do a couple cuts on the 2x6. Look at that, see that dust blowing out the back right there? Yeah. And that's all right. Now here's the thing, usually I'll throw on a Diablo blade. However, I want to use what the tool comes with, and it comes with that saw blade. And believe it or not, Milwaukee blades aren't that bad. They ain't no Diablo, but they're still pretty freaking good. 2x4s are cutting all day. So the dust extraction, I want to use this and let you see it, just so I'm showing you how this thing is blowing it out. And it's doing a fantastic job. Huge upgrade over the previous models. And again, as for the subflooring, now I'm gonna tell you again, I like my blade left, but with the window in here, you can see it, you can see very well. So I'm gonna cut it down this line right here. We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Look at that dust kicking out the back. That is a smooth cut. This saw is freaking, it's legit. I'm going old school, it's legit. Not only is it legit, it is real nice. Like, it is smooth, it is a straight cutting saw, it is a powerful freaking saw, it is a smooth saw. I am really impressed with this. That dust extraction, you hook it back up to it, you ain't getting no dust. I mean, this thing here, you can get a little bit of dust. You can get a little bit of dust, but not crazy amount. That is so much better than every previous saw. Is that a bee on my lens? What is going on with the bee? That ain't no bee, that's a wasp. All right, anyway, I'm gonna saw dust on my throat. Let me wrap this up with these two saws. The M12 is good for framing, lighter work, one-offs. Is this an all-day saw? You're ripping big boards and whatever you're doing, I don't know what you're doing. This is not for everything. This is for the smaller jobs. If you use this for smaller jobs, tighter areas, or if you're climbing up a ladder, I think you're really gonna like this. For the size of it, being an M12, using high output, it's a good saw, right? But again, definitely not for everything. But this saw is a saw. I mean, that is wow. Now again, I can say the exact opposite. If you're want something that's a little bit lighter, you're climbing ladders all day and you just want a couple small jobs that you got to complete, this might not be the saw. It's too much. But if you're ripping boards, you know, subflooring, joists, whatever you're doing, this is a huge upgrade compared to what I've used saw-wise from Team Red, and I can't tell you how long. And I'm not a huge fan of their saws. This sort of changed my mind. This is impressive and I like this. So definitely give this a chance if you have the means to, or if you want to. It is really, really, it's real nice. And don't forget, I got a video coming out within the next few days for the new supercharger with the Forge, the 8.0 and the 12.0. We're looking at, you know, the run time, the charge time, you know, can it handle the elements and all that good stuff. So just hit the bell notification if you want to see how these things perform. We'll be back with more videos soon.